Yeah, hey, greetings everybody. It's Calvin. Yeah, well, I've been I've been absent, but I've been meaning to make a video for a long time now, and the subject of that video was coming out to different people. There have been some, and so I don't know, I wanted to record that. You know, the first person that, aside from myself and an ex-girlfriend who doesn't count anymore, that's nicely put though. I came out to my brother, you know, and like just debating and being on the cusp for so long and feeling that back and forth pole anxiety of, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Well, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and then you know, getting out in the world and going, oh no, I can't do this, you know. To step over is kind of relief, you know. I sent him an email, and it was pretty brief and to the point, and also in the context of our past relationship and what he already knows about me and stuff. And it's like that feeling of mailing a letter, and the second you put it in the mail slot, you wished you could take it back. You know, I guess nowadays it's emails, but and then I had an email in my box for a couple of days that I didn't read because, like, I couldn't bring myself to read it. And the funny thing about it is it was his response was just as brief and inconsequential and generally affirming, and with a suggestion for 3 songs to listen to at the end of the email. So I thought, wow, okay. You know, and then I just kind of sat on that for a while, and, you know, we've been together a bunch of times since, and I remember driving somewhere with him, and I kept thinking, wow, so should I bring this up now, or what? Is he going to ask me questions, or what? Because I'm dreading it, you know. And it was kind of funny, because it really, it really is a non-issue. I didn't, you know, so that's pretty cool. What else did I come out to? So that emboldened me, and then I sort of retreated for a while. And then I have a friend in Arizona who I've been friends with for a while, and I've visited them out there and stuff, and, you know, they're a lesbian couple, and that's what they know me as. And so they had called me. We talk occasionally on the phone just to say, hi, how you doing, what's up, you know, life is good, that kind of thing. And they're just like that. So they called me, and we were just having a general conversation, and it was like, oh man, in the back of my mind, running through the ticker tape in the back of my mind, it was like, come on, say it, do it, come on, do not hang up this phone without saying something to these people. Now, come on, damn it, you know, and so, right towards the very end of the phone call, I just kind of blurted out, I went, oh, and by the way, I'm thinking of transitioning, and then there's a dead silence, and I'm like, oh no, you know. But they're just always so cool about everything. See, I'm picking safe people to start with, you know. And she just started asking me questions, you know. I was like, oh, well, don't you have to do this and do that? And I was like, so they were being a whole of a lot cooler about it than I was, you know. Obviously, it's a bigger event to me than any of these people that I've come out to so far, because I just said, like, you know what, man? Oh, I can't really talk about this right now, so I gotta go. I love you. I'll see you later, man. And that's the way it's been. So it's been just sort of hit and run, I guess. There was somebody else on that list. Oh, my sponsor. Yeah, my NA sponsor. And that's kind of weird, because, you know, I've been hitting around for eons with her, you know, and I've been telling her indirectly, that there's just a lot of shit going on with me, and like and then, that I'm at a critical juncture. I think I put it a bunch of times, and she's not stupid. Like, she knows, and long story short, something came up where we sort of had a head-to-head. Somebody asked me to sponsor them, and I was like, no way, I'm not sponsoring this person. And we did not see eye to eye about that. And at that point in time, there were some specific reasons that had to do with the way that person is, but it was also me, because I suddenly, being thrust in that situation, I suddenly realized that, man, I don't think I want to take on any new sponsees, because I have a feeling of I don't want to mislead people. I don't want to be perceived as dishonest, even though I'm not being dishonest. It's just their perceptions. I didn't really feel right taking on somebody so fragile and shaky, on the cusp of making a transition. I just didn't think that would be right to do to a newcomer, and so I don't like being dishonest with my sponsor. I never have been, So I thought, damn, why is this coming to a head now? But you know what? See, the universe works with me, with us. It does. So I thought, damn, I gotta tell her something, and it has to be truth. And I struggled, so what I actually did was I wrote her a letter, and I outlined my reasons very clearly, and I told her about being in therapy, and about that I've been discussing this issue for, basically 2 years, and that I didn't feel it was right to take on a sponsee, fragile newcomer, and then turn around like somewhere down the line and go, oh, but by the way, I'm a man, I don't think that would, I don't view that as right. So I had to tell her that. So I sent her that letter, and then I had that same feeling of dread again, And the day she got it, she called me, but I wasn't here. I was at work, and left me a message. So my thing was beeping when I got home. And here's a weird thing: I could not. I deleted the message, and I never listened to it for whatever reason. So I don't have a clue what she said, but she's still my sponsor. We still talk. It hasn't been brought up again, and it's kind of weird, But I know she won't ask me about it until I mention it. I know her pretty well. That was after my initial queasy feelings. That was, I walked around thinking, yeah, damn, you know what? That's such a relief, man. Because the subliminal strain of, constantly feeling like you're walking around with a secret, that you're, subterfuging everything, and it takes its toll. It takes a psychic toll, and I'm really tired of that. So, how many people was that? 3 or 4. Hasn't been too bad. Now, the big challenge will be Mother Dearest, who, has that disapproving, the mother disapproval face that I'm all too familiar with. It's not something that I cherish seeing. That's the big obstacle, That's the big obstacle. If I could clear that hurdle, a lot more could happen, I think. Oh, and the other way, I kind of got outed at work, too. And it happened inadvertently. I work at a state mental hospital doing drug and alcohol counseling, and because there are only 2 people who do it there for the whole hospital, we don't really have a department per se, so we kind of come under the rubric of the psychology department. So I know all those people, and you'd think I'd be cooler with it, with a bunch of, I don't want to be pathologized at work though, you know. They all know that they all view me as a lesbian, and I have never been secretive about that. I don't wear my heart on my sleeve all the time, but it's totally cool. But anyway, we have monthly meetings, and we sometimes compare notes on people, not maliciously or anything, but like, you know, in terms of like, you know, what are we gonna do? And so we do some information sharing, and something came up about a person who was seriously expressive of a desire to cross-dress, and without thinking, without hesitation, tricked by the universe once again. This is a person that I had dealt with for years, and I had some things to say about that I felt that I should share with my coworkers. So I'm in the process of saying some of the interactions and experiences that I've had with this person, you know, in terms of the cross-dressing slash transgender thing. It just came flowing out of my mouth. I was relating, you know, my experiences with this person, because they seemed to think that this was something new, whereas this person knows I'm trans. They just guessed it and brought it up, and I didn't deny it, and I don't tout it around either, because some of our patients are confused enough, and I'm okay with that. So that's another person. So while I'm saying all this stuff, I'm suddenly the light bulb goes off. I'm in a room full of about 10 psychologists, and I'm saying all this stuff about cross-dressing and transgender stuff, right? And I'm going, uh-oh, bing. I suddenly realized that I was like outing myself, and I had already jumped in the water, so I more or less had to finish what I was saying. And true to form that they are, I mean, nothing came of that either, and like nobody was staring me down or having hysterical reactions or anything. You know, whatever drama it is, I think that I envision will happen if I tell somebody about me, you know. Nothing happened. In fact, I had an extended conversation with one of my coworkers after the meeting about that very subject, and also half realizing that that for all intents and purposes they know. It's just me who thinks that I'm hiding all the time, and it's not other people who can't face me, it's me. So I can overcome those obstacles a little bit at a time, and it's been a long time coming. No fake. It really has. So, but that was, you know, after I was able to step back a couple of days from that experience too, that's actually kind of encouraging, you know, because obviously, to fully transition, I'll have to be out at work, being part of the staff of a mental health, you know, and see, you know, I worry about it so much, but, you know, they need diversity on that staff, and they need people to be able to, you know, empathize and, like, relate. They need a variety of people, because this is, you know, what comes in our doors, you know, it's. So I'm thinking, well, I'm trying to put the positive spin on it, like, well, you know what, man, so this is an asset, man, you know, I should sell myself on this point, you know, really, if I have the guts. So that's been interesting. So it makes me wonder, what's next, and when are we going to get cracking with this whole shebang more, Other stuff that I wanted to say. I was reading, yeah, I'm a little old. I was reading something. I was watching some other videos on YouTube, and somebody was saying a bunch of stuff that really hit home with me. It was just one of those deals where I was shaking my head going, yup, 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 and they were talking about things like, the changes that they've experienced being on testosterone, and how they'll feel further down the line, and kind of wondering if they'll be continuing to think that they're making the right choice, making a good choice, however exactly he put it, saying that, yeah, this feels good, and like I can't ever envision going back, and that's been my truth for a long time. It happens incrementally, and every step I take towards the masculine dimension, every step I take towards being more okay with myself as that, those movements have made me feel more okay with myself, and that's how I know that this is the right trajectory. I also they would have to drag me back, claws digging in to go back to, my previous my previous trappings. I couldn't go back. I take that as a measure of that's how I know that I'm right. When this was years ago, but the day that I threw out any and all female clothing that I had was like, and that had to be like maybe a decade ago. I don't know, but because I was like, damn, why didn't I do this sooner? Because that shit was like bringing me down too. That was just increasing that, weird tension. I don't want to hang out in the female dimension. Nothing wrong with it per se, but not for me. So the measure of comfortability that I feel is the measure of rightness. They were also saying stuff about coming out to people at work, and maybe something about bathrooms too, and I'm working up to that there. That happened in that meeting. But I also do other things too. Like, one of the things that I do at work is, it's a big place, and there are lots of bathrooms, and I work there from noon to 8 p.m. So I'm there in the evening when most people leave at 4 o'clock. So there are areas where there's very little traffic or none. So I practiced going in the men's room. And I'm definitely over the fear of walking in there when I know that no one's going to be in there, and I'm sequestered in this little nook and cranny spot of an aging state mental hospital, like nobody's going to see me. But it's important, and I go in there and I practice, peeing with my feet pointing in the right direction, to put it bluntly, so that I can get good at it, and hopefully that will transfer out too. And the thing about that is that doesn't, the novelty wore off that too, and it doesn't feel weird. So that's made me more weirder about going in women's rooms. But unfortunately, in most places that I go, at this point in time anyway, the people know me, and they know what my name is, and they, and they know that I'm female-bodied, and so I couldn't really just like walk in the men's room, because that would probably cause more of a stir than walking into the ladies' room. But I know that feeling very well. I have a sense of dread about it, and I don't like going to some public places because of that and past experiences I've had. Although now I wish something that would happen. I wish something would happen in a bathroom again, like happened to me in McDonald's about 6 or 7 months ago, because, boy, man, that had lawsuit written all over it, I could have paid a lot for a lot of shit with that money. So, in a weird way, I'm kind of like, I'm almost to the point where I could think, yeah, bring it on, man. Go ahead, confront me, man. I'll show you a thing or two. Throw me out of the bathroom. Come on, But it sucks, because I feel people's eyes burning a hole in my back, and I catch the furtive glances, like, and there's not much I can do about it. And I go to seminars and stuff for work, and they always take little pee breaks, and I don't go on them. I never go to the bathroom during them, because the last thing that I want to subject myself to is standing in line with tons of women waiting for the next available stall, with all the other shit that goes on, and it's become increasingly annoying to me. Aside from the looks that I get and the feelings that I feel, like a sore thumb sticking out. So, irregardless of whatever other people think, I do things like I just get up at odd times right in the middle of the presentation and go to the bathroom when I know there's not going to be hordes of people there, because that's what I have to do for my own sanity, So I find little tricks of the trade, doing that. What else were they talking about that struck a nerve with me? That's the goal. That's the goal. Self-actualization, as defined by me, as feels all right by me, not by what any therapist says to me, not by what other people's reactions are to me, not by the weird self-loathing and self-abasing shit that goes on in my head off of that. And the whole duality with society, that's starting to leave me. And thank God, because it's just too stressful, And I'm starting to get tired of feeling the need to explain. That will never go away, as somebody else so aptly pointed out in another video that I watched. But I don't have to stress over that. I don't have to be at other people's beck and call to meet up with their expectations of what people are, should be, and how they present, and who does what, when, where, and how. Those people are always going to be like that. It's our job to enlighten. Anyway, time to go to the meeting. Yeah, and that scares me too, because I worry about my recovery too. I should find a recovery site to talk about this, but employment, big worry. Need that job, like having food to eat, like being able to pay my bills and do some fun stuff. Recovery, ultra important to me. Totally afraid that transitioning will really fuck that up for me, because I sit around and I look at the guys in my home group and I'm thinking, they are not going to want to take me on as a sponsee. And I don't want to be with the women. So there's a case where I feel that transitioning will throw me more out into no man's land than the no man's land that I exist in right now. So this too shall, I don't know. Anyway, I think I've rambled on quite enough. I'm still out here, still working on stuff, still being me to the best of my ability, fully me to the best of my ability, and not trying to judge my insides by other people's outsides, not trying to form my self-conception off of other people's reactions and staunch takes on how the world should be, because we just live in different worlds, man. Alright, see ya.